why aren't we as happy when Bitcoin goes down as it does when it goes up? Well, we really should actually, because it's opening up buying opportunities. But we're sad when things are going on a downtrend because we bought high. So we have this perceived loss. But that's one of the keys with trading and investing, especially in cryptocurrency, but in any market, is that these are perceived losses. You have to trust in the cycle of the market. And that's why I hate when people talk and use the words crashes, because when something crashes, it doesn't get up. But when it comes to the market, unless you're buying a shitcoin that's completely dies, and obviously this is not the case of what we're talking about here, there is always a rebirth in some, there's a recovery. So it's never really crashing. It's more like, I don't know, a fender bender, but not even that, because it doesn't really have the damage. What I'm talking about, it's kind of hard to conceptualize or to explain, but it's the emotion that you're getting. These are perceived losses. They're not actual unless you sell. And you got to think, people are like, well, why is the market down? Why is this? Well, you got to look at the broader market. You got to go look at tech. What is going on? You're talking about prices pre-COVID, right? Because COVID has artificially accelerated and altered in ways that we can't even understand the market. So everybody has theories. So this caused this, and this one liquidated in Russia, and regulation and this stuff affected. Sure, and I'm sure these are all contributing factors, but it's anybody's guess how much of an impact these has, short-term and long-term, on specific markets and especially specific coins. So don't get attached to it. Like I was saying, Bitcoin was between $5,000 and $9,000 pre-COVID. That's March 2020, right? So, and like Etsy was around $400, right? What is it? Ethereum was around 130 back then. Shopify stock was 400, Etsy was 40, right? Now Shopify is 872, but it's down 50% from its all-time high. Same with Etsy. So would I be worried? Like your theoretical line where the bottom would be, arguably, where you would know you would find support for Bitcoin, would be around anywhere from $5,000 to $9,000. Now, if you think about that price now, I'm sure most of us would be like, oh my God, I hope that doesn't happen. But why do we think that? If it went down to that, you have to think, if Bitcoin goes to $9,000, I am going to make so much money. And you're like, well, why would you think that? Because you're going to be able to load up your bags. So unless you have no money, you have no job, you have no income, obviously, then that's a different story. But that's going to be an opportunity. I used to say, when people said, oh, it's a good time to buy, I was like, well, I'm completely invested in crypto. I have no more money to invest. So it's not an opportunity to fill my bags if you don't have money to do so. Well, then you get creative. And the thing is, you should be excited, because the lower it goes, then the less money you need to make the kind of gains that you will when things recover. And when they recover, they always find new highs. So that's what you got to kind of figure. And I know a lot of people are in a bad way right now, and they're worried. And I am too, in some ways. Like some of the picks that I made in the traditional stock market and in crypto were probably a lot of money. Like I put 6 figures in probably 6 months into the pandemic. So things were already accelerating. So even though they went even higher, we're now at a point where they've climbed down to the level where I kind of bought into during the pandemic. I just try to remind myself of those prices pre-pandemic. As long as the price is higher than it was pre-pandemic, we're still in a good place. We're in a very good place. And the only reason that I am maybe not making a ton of money right this second is only because I bought in higher than it is now, or close to higher. So I haven't sold those. So those are not actual losses. They're just emotions. And like I said in my previous video, the hardest thing to do as an investor is to do nothing. But it can really help if you remind yourself of the opportunities that you would have if Bitcoin went back down to, say, $5,000 to $9,000, and you bought a bunch of that. Then you would have even more money. So, and I learned that life is that way too. Like when you look back, most of the time when you ask people, like, what was the best advice you give your younger self? It would be like, not to worry, like everything would work out, because it does. Like in the long run, things recover, you make money, things get sorted out. All of the stress that you're putting yourself through right now is just distracting you. It's just confusing you. So stay dedicated, keep fundamentals, and try to stay away from speculation that is bombarding you on a daily basis. There's still opportunities to make money in this market. And even in the losers, creating even more opportunities. So Suku, the only pick that's really up today, was my pick that I did yesterday. It's up, 200% since I picked it was 40 cents. So that's great that it's the only crypto really that's doing well today. And I'm glad that I picked it, and it's a long-term investment. Great. But the ones that are losing, the ones 13% down, those are also opportunities. Is it going to be an opportunity if it's down tomorrow? It's even more of an opportunity tomorrow. If it goes down another 20% the next day, it's an opportunity. It's even more of an opportunity. Try to change that mindset. People think, oh, my crypto went up 100%. Awesome opportunity. Went up another 100%. Great opportunity. But it's the ones, even if they lose and then lose again, as long as you trust in the life cycle of the market and in that project, it's even more of an opportunity. I know it's really weird to think that way, but try to tell yourself that. Try to see green where you see red, if that makes any sense at all. So this was just a quick overview because I see all of these videos of people with their theories. And I think a lot of times they do more damage than good. And this new cycle in crypto is unfiltered, unfeathered, and it's damaging. Because in the end, you do have to see green where there's red. So thank you guys for tuning in. I'm going to keep an eye out here. And as soon as I see another winner, you guys are going to be the first ones to know. Just keep your head down, white knuckle it, and try to change your perspective a little bit. Be positive. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, buy red and sell green.